Hi. So I got all of my seeds from Johnny's and Swallowtail. All came in. My strike peas came in a bigger bag here. Here's all my Johnny's. I think this one is the lavender aster. So that's exciting. Anyways, I haven't made a video or put one up because it's been negative degrees outside. So it's just cold and depressing. But I'm making this video about setting up my shelving units, my plastic shelving units and all my lights for seed starting. So I have 2 shelving units here that I was storing in the basement, and they're this Maxit brand from Menards, and they're actually extra wide, so I can fit 3 10 by 20 inch seed trays on each shelf. And then I have 8 lights. I have 4 of these double lights, and all 4 of these plug into each other. And then I have these really cheap ones that I got at Home Depot. They're just a single light, and it's 2 foot. So the doubles are 3 foot, these are 2 foot. And I think I'm gonna get a 3rd shelving unit and put it over here by the heater. But the plan is to, in this video, to put the shelving units together and put them on either side of this wall here, which is what I did last year. And maybe I'll time lapse that whole thing while I turn the heater on because it's freezing cold in here. The other thing I wanted to say is that with all of the cold weather and all of the snow this year, the rabbits have been terrible. They went after my arborvitae, the one that I planted in October. They went after my crabapple tree, and I'll show pictures. I don't even know if the crabapple is gonna come back in the spring. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna buy a larger version of the same one. And then the rabbits even went after my weeping blue spruce. So I put chicken wire around the arb and the crabapple. I haven't put any wire around the blue spruce yet because it's been so cold out. 2 shelving units put together in probably 15-20 minutes. Now last year I had one there and one over there on the other end of the wall. And then I had my my Fountain of Youth Japanese maple in the middle. But that's outside this year. You can see that I actually have room for a third one along the same wall as the other two. So that would be nice. It would be nice to get more of these double lights that can all plug into each other instead of having individual plugs, because I use this and it's attached to a timer, so I don't need to mess with all of that. So that's nice. And then all the lights just hang from the bottom of each of these shelves. So that's why they're so tall. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 lights for each one. And then adjusting the height for, just sprouting and then growing up from there. And like I said before, I can fit 3 trays on each one. They have to be a little bit at an angle, but I can still fit 3. So that's what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24 for just these 2. And then you have to think, well, they have to sort of graduate as they start to mature, because none of this can go out in the yard until middle of May. So a lot of stuff has to be transferred from the initial tray to 4-inch pots or 6-inch pots. Yeah. And usually I put the transfers in the bottom ones, or probably the top ones, because it's harder to manage the ones at top because I'm so short. I'm like 5'3" on a good day. And then these top ones are just storage for extra things. And then the other good thing about having my seeds starting in here is that it has available windows for sunlight, and it's separated from the rest of the house. So with the inevitability of gnats, I can keep all that separated. Versus if I was doing this in a basement, you would risk having a bunch of gnats all over the basement, and then you couldn't really manage where they went. But in here I can. And it also helps to have yellow walls, so that the gnats really show up on the yellow walls. And then I use one of those plug-in, like Evo gnat catchers. It's basically like an ultraviolet light that attracts them to a sticky trap. And that really works for me. And that's all I got for this video. The fish are all alive. One one of my salmon multi-bloom geraniums downstairs is blooming. But other than that, it's cold and depressing, and I can't wait to start some seeds.